In this video, I want to go over every single leak so far for the Mansion DLC map for Black Ops 6 Zombies. Now, I did literally post a video just yesterday where I went over leaks, but I also went over a lot of storyline information and speculation and theories and stuff like that, so it's such a long video, so I thought I would make a concise recap of just the gameplay leaks as well, and since making that video, we have a new piece of information that is very pivotal and huge. Now, I will leave a link to that video down in this video's description if you want to check it out after you are done with this one, because that's where you can learn all of the storyline information, and this one will just be focusing on leaks and gameplay stuff. But before I get into all of that, first of all, regarding the release date. So obviously Citadel Daymore and the Tomb have released very soon. Usually we would have only had one DLC map at this point in time, potentially even none. The fact we've had two is absolutely mind-boggling. Of course, the Tomb has been a smaller scale map, but at the same time, it's still way more content than we would have ever gotten, so you have to pay respect to Treyarch for that. Regardless of what you think of the Tomb, since it's receiving a lot of criticism right now, but because we received a map in Season 1 Reloaded, and then we received one literally at the start of Season 2, I think it is quite likely that Mansion might be releasing sometime during Season 3. Now, Season 3 is going to be starting on the 20th of March, which is a Thursday, and this is coinciding with the date of Warzone's anniversary when Verdansk was first introduced, so this is probably the day that Verdansk is going to come back to Warzone. However, would Treyarch want to add a new Zombies map at the same time Verdansk is added? I'm not exactly sure, because maybe Activision Marketing want to ensure that all of the focus is just on Warzone, because obviously Warzone's been declining so much so over recent years, and it really does feel like Verdansk returning is that last push effort by Activision to try and restore the dying mode. So would they want players who play both Warzone and Zombies to be split apart? I'm not exactly sure. At the same time though, it could release at the same time just because the more people playing Call of Duty, the better at the end of the day, and people do switch between modes, so if there's lots of content to play between all of the modes, Warzone multiplayer and Zombies, there's going to be something that will keep people engaged all season, as opposed to them, you know, hopping on Warzone, getting bored of it soon, and then they don't have anything else to play. This way, they can hop on Warzone, they can go to Zombies, they can go back to Warzone, they can go to multiplayer, they can jump between the new pieces of content, instead of it just being locked off to one big update. But maybe it will be Season 3 Reloaded because they don't want to coincide with Verdansk. We shall just have to wait and see right now. Or they might skip a season and it be Season 4, because we have received two maps so early on. It's a bit unclear if we're going to be getting a map every single season or not. There's been various different leaks that we're getting more maps than usual. I'm not exactly sure if I believe them, because Treyarch are working on COD 2025 Zombies simultaneously. That is a lot of content for them to be making, so can they balance both in that sheer capacity? It does seem unlikely to me, but there have been leaks about it, but obviously leaks can be wrong, so we're just going to have to see. But let's talk about the mansion itself, because we've gone off on a big tangent here. So obviously it's Richtofen's mansion from the intro cutscene, we all know that, and of course it's based on the real-life Hilltop House Hotel in Harper's Ferry. For the leaks, in terms of the wonder weapon on the map, it's going to be the Wunderwaffe. Now, this was obvious from the intro cutscene because Richtofen has it at his bedside, he uses it, he was the original creator of the Wunderwaffe. It makes complete sense that the map that's going to be Richtofen-centric, where we might be trying to rescue him from the Dark Ether, is going to contain this iconic wonder weapon. Now, not only has it been found in the files and we see it in the intro cutscene, but we actually have something new today to show with you. So, a developer recently posted on their ArtStation this blueprint of the Wunderwaffe for Black Ops 6 Zombies. Now, the logo in the bottom left is using the Cold War Zombies thing, but I don't think that really matters. Now, I won't be showing who posted this, obviously. We shouldn't really be seeing this right now, but just know that a developer posted this on their ArtStation, and to be honest, even though it could be regarded as a leak, it doesn't tell us anything new, because we already knew the Wunderwaffe was going to be on this map by the intro cutscene of Liberty Falls, and of course we already found it in the string, so it's not like this is anything crazy. It doesn't reveal anything mind-boggling, or that we didn't ultimately expect. However, if you look behind the Wunderwaffe blueprint, you can see that there appears to be some sort of ritual symbol, and I'm thinking this could definitely be important. Now, it kind of looks like the Chaos Wall buys, but the thing to me that it looks way more like is a ritual symbol, sort of similar to the rituals that you do on Shadows of Evil for the swords, or the triangle in the center looks very, very similar to the teleporters on the Tomb, or the teleporters from Modern Warfare Zombies, the sigils as well. So maybe that's what it could be about, and obviously we know that the mansion, if you've watched that storyline video I went over, was created by Shem and his flock, and they performed some sort of dark ritual, probably being tempted by some Dark Ether entity to enter the realm. It seems like they all sacrificed their lives in a mass atrocity, a mass death event, to weaken the veil between the Dark Ether and our regular particular world, which is why Richtofen probably chose it as the base of operations for Janice's temporal flux activity. Because the veil is weakened here, he can take advantage of that, which explains why Ava was able to be pulled in by the Shadowsmiths, because the veil was weakened here so much so, combined with her ethereal powers. And maybe this that we see in the background is in fact the ritual that Shem's flock, Shem's cult, did actually commit. That could be a possibility there. But other than that, we don't really learn anything from this, but most likely Janice obviously got the blueprints of the Wunderwaffe from the recreation of it that Vogel and Strauss made for De Waarheid from Vanguard. We saw a blueprint similar to this in the ending of Modern Warfare Zombies that Ava was flicking through. And maybe this ritual is even where we have to place the Sentinel artifact. We know that Sam said she has prepared something for us for the artifact, and there's a specific element at the mansion that we need to combine with it to charge the receptacles. Now, in terms of the Wunderwaffe, I assume it's not going to be exactly the same as the original or even the one we saw in Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, because of the fact it was broken by the SAM AI. The capsules get destroyed, so most likely we will have to repair it as some sort of makeshift version with scraps that we find around the map. Maybe Blanchard will even help us repair it, so I'm hoping it functions differently. Just like the ice staff isn't exactly the same as the original, it is a bit disappointing that we might just be getting returning wonder weapons instead of new ones for the remaining maps, and I just hope that they aren't just exactly the same, so at least they can differentiate them a bit. But of course, unlocking this elevator with the password is probably going to be a big part of the Easter egg and trying to get down there to fight the SAM AI, and that's where the Wunderwaffe gets destroyed. So I don't know how we're going to access this, since Richtofen was able to because he's the director, of course. So are we going to require a password to pin in? Are we going to have to speak with Richtofen from within the Dark Ether? He gives us information on how to get into it, he gives us the password, or we have to somehow hack into it? We shall have to wait and see. On second thought, considering that Richtofen drops the Wunderwaffe and it gets broken as he's going down the elevator shaft and he enters the new lab where the SAM AI is, and that's probably going to be the boss fight arena if I were to guess, then maybe we don't actually repair this specific wonder weapon, but there are other wonder weapons on the map. Given the fact that there's a blueprint, obviously Richtofen would have mass-produced the DG2. If you know, you know. Or maybe we use this blueprint to actually repair it from different things around the map. Maybe even Blanchard has his own Wunderwaffe. Or could this be suggesting that maybe the laboratory underground is actually a playable part of the map and not just for the boss fight arena if we do have to get this Wunderwaffe in specific? There's many angles that this could play out. The Raygun Mark II has also been found in the files of the game, so this could definitely be another wonder weapon, so we get two nostalgic ones on this map. However, this could potentially be something we see with Janus Towers instead. Only time will tell. I do hope we get a new wonder weapon at some point, especially with the final map. And also, if the Mark II does come on this map or Janus Towers, we don't know if it will be added exclusively to the map or just added to all of the maps in the mystery box like when it was added on Buried. But the Mark II is such a cool weapon, I can't wait to use it again, whether it's sooner rather than later. Now, in terms of other leaks, it seems like the Hellhounds could very well be possible as the new special round on this map, which I think definitely needs to be. It's getting really tiresome to see the vermin every single map now, and they don't fit Mansion. They haven't really fit with the other maps either. Hellhounds make perfect sense to be back on this map if it is going to be a Richtofen-centric map, and the Hellhounds have been found in the files. Not only that, but they've been getting sold as U2's merch. They've also recently been added as a bundle in the store as a pet, so I think Hellhounds on this map would be amazing, especially because the Hellhounds in Modern Warfare Zombies do seem to resemble Not So Fluffy, Samantha's dog that Gray then looked after she died. But how did they become the new Hellhounds? We need to find that out. Maybe even Richtofen was doing experiments with it, similar to the old Ether story, and sent it into the Dark Ether, and it ended up creating this new Hellhound, and maybe the SAM AI is now using them as her minions, because she's probably going to turn on us on this map, could even potentially be the boss fight. She's obviously not actually going to help us in finding and rescuing Samantha Maxis from the Dark Ether. She probably wants to become a physical body, become like the real Samantha Maxis, have a soul, potentially even locate the real Samantha Maxis, but tries to trade bodies with her, or become her, or merge with her, using the power of the Sentinel artifact. And I think on this map, if she turns against her, we'll end up having to help Richtofen instead, if we deem him to be the lesser of two evils, or we just empathize with his family dying due to Weaver, and understand his perspective a bit more. Obviously, Richtofen and Blanchard are highly likely to be involved in this map's Easter egg. Blanchard is camping out here. He might help us in trying to rescue Richtofen and stop Sam. The other leak I want to go over is regarding perks, because we thought maybe we're just going to be getting 2 perks added in the DLC, because there was only 2 perks on the Wunderfizz machine at launch, but they've now been filled with Death Perception and Vulture Aid. However, with the Tombs release, Treyarch have added 2 more slots to the Wunderfizz machine, implying that there's going to be at least 2 more perks coming, and there's got to be at least 1 coming with the mansion map. But this shows us that Treyarch can easily add more slots to the Wunderwaffe if they ever deem it fit and they ever want more, because in Cold War they only filled the remaining slots, which is why people thought we are just going to be getting 2 more. So what could be the other 2 perks coming? Well, in the files of the game, a few different perks have been found. The most noticeable ones are Tombstone as well as Double Tap, and Mule Kick has also been hinted by Treyarch potentially coming at some point, but it would be odd for us to get 3 perks and then just add 1 other slot. It's definitely possible, like I said, but personally for me, I'm not expecting Double Tap on this map, just because I think it would probably be saved for the final DLC map, because it will change the status quo so much so if it is like Double Tap 2.0 where it doubles your damage penetration. Now, we've been asking for Double Tap for so long because we haven't had it in a Zombies experience for a long time, and Treyarch did plan to have it inside Cold War Zombies but ended up getting swapped out for Death Perception. I think it's about time we finally receive it, but now with augments it'll probably work so much differently. So probably the base version is going to be like Double Tap 1.0 where it just doubles your fire rate, and Double Tap 2.0 to double the damage will probably be an augment. But now that it has augments, there's potential for a lot more abilities to the perk that we didn't have initially. Let me know in the comments what you think they could be. It would be cool as well if the Pack-a-Punch machine physically changes, so it's just a 1.0 version. When you don't have augments, when you apply that double damage one, it changes to a 2.0 machine, and maybe even with some of the new augments it could become a 3.0 machine. Now, I definitely don't think Treyarch are going to do that. That requires a lot more effort than is probably worth, but it is a cool idea. But like I say, I think this would probably be DLC 4, but we shall have to see. It could be the next map, but I think it would certainly make sense to be the final one. If it's going to change the meta of the game so much and the status quo, it would make sense to release it at the end, so then it gives a whole new reason to go back to all of those old maps now that all of the weapons play so much differently, and the maps would probably be a lot easier as well. So maybe the next map will be Tombstone or in fact Mule Kick. Now, in terms of field upgrades, we're probably definitely going to be getting one once again, and right now there's only been one, which is Frost Blast, found in the files, so that's probably what's going to release next. Now, it might not. I mean, it probably fit the tomb better considering we have the Ice Staff. There's a potential it could be saved for a future map, or it's just left over in the files. We will probably get a new score streak as well, probably just a returning one from Cold War, but who knows. Furthermore, let's talk about what the special enemy will be, because I really hope that we finally get a map that isn't just the vermin once again, because they're getting so repetitive having the same enemy type every single map, and it'll be very frustrating if they're on mansion when they don't really fit the vibe of it. Well, I guess spiders kind of do actually. It's kind of like a very old mansion on second thought, but at the same time they've been on all of these other maps and they definitely didn't fit the town of Liberty Falls at all, so they definitely could be in mansion considering that they're on the town and they are so close. But Treyarch really need to stop being repetitive with the enemy types, and the thing is, the Hellhounds have been found in the files of the game, and I think it makes total sense to be on the mansion map given the backstory of the Hellhounds, and this being the Richtofen-centric map. And the Sam-centric map, Richtofen versus Sam, just like the old Ether story. But not only have the Hellhounds been found in the files, but they've also been getting sold as U2's merch, and the latest Black Cell skin even comes with a Hellhound pet. And in Modern Warfare Zombies, the Hellhounds models seem to resemble Not So Fluffy, and one of the items you even collect is Not So's collar, implying maybe even Ava Jansen looked after Not So. Now, obviously, after Samantha sacrificed herself into the Dark Ether, Gray looked after her dog. We don't really know what happened after that, but at least probably in Ava's early life, they potentially had it. I'm not exactly sure, but maybe after Gray was captured by Richtofen, it went into Richtofen's possession, and it could mirror the original Ether story where maybe Richtofen was doing experiments on Not So Fluffy, like Samantha's original dog Fluffy back in the day, because he's been trying to do temporal flux distortion, literally specifically here, so maybe he's been sending this dog into the Dark Ether, explaining why it eventually becomes a Hellhound, which is why I think Hellhounds perfectly fit the map and ties into Modern Warfare Zombies, and maybe the entity was even using Samantha's dog because of course she's her daughter, as well as the fact that the Sam AI is now controlling the outbreak, so she could be using this dog because again, she is a replication of the real Samantha Maxey, so it makes sense to use this dog as her hordes. In terms of other enemy types on this map, I hope that we don't have amalgams again, we don't have Doppelgast or any of this stuff. I want to see some sort of new enemy type, but honestly honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if the Manglers are back, but I don't think it makes sense on this map because the mansion does look really close quarters. Judging from the intro cutscene, Manglers are better suited for a much more open map. I could totally see them being on Janus Towers though, because that's going to be a much larger map, and of course, if it's this big scientific factory of Janus, it makes sense that that could even be the origin place where they've been making these Janus Manglers. And that's all of the leaks we know about the Mansion DLC map thus far. We don't have too much, but we have lots of storyline information. So like I said, links to all of my prior videos on the Mansion in the description because I've literally made a few of them. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not here for the latest and greatest Call of Duty news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.